All right, so I've already had the vehicle outside out in the natural light and took all the still photos. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, with the video, just take some paint meter readings, and that way we can check for signs of Bondo and thickness of paint as well. Also, I've left the lights on just to show you that looks like the right side, the cover here is just only opening up halfway. So that's something that you need to add to your list of your punch list as far as things you want to have addressed. So I'm going to go ahead and shut that off for right now that you got the demonstration. All the other lights are working, so I verified that they are working. So I'm going to shut that off real quick. And let's make sure it's completely retracted. Yep, and completely closed again. Looks like I'm parked right where the door is, some water dripping on here, but I've already seen the car. So let's start with the paint meter readings. 14 and a half, 11 and a half. Typically when we get this 19.7 reading, that's an indication of body filler use. So, well, that's not a good accurate reading. So let's get the metal here. 17 thousandths of an inch. Okay, another high reading of 19.7, 21, 16, 16, and more body filler down there. So really it's the issue, it's not the issue of body filler. I mean, it'd be nice if it's always metal to metal finish, but I rarely see that. What we do want to focus is the quality of workmanship. Make sure we don't see any issues like cracking or any type of deterioration. Right, so moving on here, we got the left front wheel, got the rims, don't see any obvious signs of like curb rash or impact damage. Let's see if I can get the brake pad in there. Sometimes I get lucky and I'll get it. I think I got it. And then I've already taken still photos of the sidewall of tires. I'll be marking down the sizes and the date of manufacturer if that's available. Also, while I'm down here, I like to check the side panels, and what we're doing here is just looking for any signs of waviness, any dings or dents. And I don't know if I commented before, but the paint definitely has a mirror-like finish. So so far it's pretty impressive as far as what I've seen. The door gaps I'll be analyzing later. Let me open and close that door so the door doesn't drop. That's good. And that's a nice solid close. I don't think there's an issue there. And sometimes I see the doors kicked out right here, and that's pretty flush. So that's pretty good. Here at the C-pillar area, smooth to the touch. Might as well get the readings here while I'm here. 20, 12. Okay, got some body filler here, and body filler here. Looking at the windshield, don't see any obvious chips or cracks, signs of lamination. Looks pretty good. Chrome is in decent shape as well. And I've already looked at the vents as well. Outside mirror, nice and secure, sturdy. Glass, again, looks good. Right, see the door readings. 20, 11, 16 and a half, 15, quarter panel. Body filler right there. More body filler. Okay. 18 and a half. More body filler. 13 and a half. Looking at the rear glass, again, looks good. Don't see any chips or delamination or scratches. Let's get the rear shelf here. 19.7. Let's get the trunk lid. 19.7. 13 and a half. 13 and 19.7. Okay, let's get another view of the side panels. Looks like we've got a glare going on here, so it might affect the way it looks. It looks pretty straightforward. While I'm back here, bumper is in good shape. Tail lights, don't see any cracks in them. Yeah, looks good. And I think I already got these readings already, but just make sure. 17 and a half, 13 and 19.7. Another view here, and let's do the side view. Let's actually look at the roof here now that I'm here. Okay, 15, 14, 19.7, So we got body filler use here. And again, all this stuff that we're picking up here, it's just the water drops from that door. And then a little side view. It's pretty straight. Got the right rear wheel. Rims look good. So we get a shot of the brake pad there. Okay. And let's do the wheel well on the side here. I'll still be inspecting the vehicle later on from the underside, so here's a little bonus shot. Okay. Glass in good shape. The one thing I did notice here with the door completely closed, there is a gap right here between the quarter glass and the door glass. So if the car's getting washed or excuse me, it rains, it would leak there. This is something that's pretty impressive here. Typically here on the roof rail or rain rails, usually that's all gunked up and really messy. And this is about the cleanest one I've seen in a very long time. On that note, let me just check the other side now. I've actually given up, so I almost stopped checking, but I just happened to notice it, that it just looked nicely done. Okay. Moving on. Let's get the door readings. 17, 13, 12, 21. Right front fender. Okay, body filler there. Body filler. 18, 14, 14, and then the right front rim. Brake pad. Do a final view here before I move on. I usually like to capture the first startup, but the car has been moved already, and it's actually been started like 2 or 3 times already. But I'll go ahead and capture it on video, and what I like to do is focus on the exhaust first to see or to check to make sure there is no smoke coming out, whether it be black, blue, white, or gray, right? That all means something. Condensation's okay, but I'll go ahead and fire up the engine right now, and that way we can see how it cranks over, and then we'll take a tour of the engine bay area. Here we go. When the engine is cold, so I just did it a couple of mild revs just to push out any smoke if there is any. So going here to the engine bay area, I do like it. It's definitely nice and tidy. Some thought went into it. Nice quality components. Looking at the top of the engine here, nothing obvious. I always check for even splice wires. Just where maybe some shortcuts have taken place. Nothing's quite jumped out at me. I saw the review everything as well. Don't hear any abnormal noises coming from the bottom or the top end of the engine. I always like to get a view of the pulleys. And there I'm just checking for, make sure we don't see any wobbling. So looking pretty good. I've checked all the fluids that I can, the automatic transmission, the engine oil. I removed the oil filler cap neck area. I'm checking for any type of moisture buildup. That looked pretty clean. And the power steering was in great shape. The radiator fluid coolant was a little low. I couldn't see anything. So, but I mean, I saw some fluid there, and it looked like it was water to me. So I'll review that again. Again, I'll let the engine idle for about a good 10-15 minutes while I'm moving on with the rest of the vehicle. Because what I like to do is get the engine nice and hot to where the heat sinks the suspension, right? That way, if there's anything that's kind of weak or loose, it should come to surface during the road test, hopefully. Right? And here's a quick look at the gauges. I see what you mean about the radio. And let's just do one final look here at the back. operational issues that I found here while doing the interior. So everything's working here with the windows. I tried those independently as well as the back on each window. The windshield wiper operation, it's a single click, it seems like. So click, and then you gotta do it again if you want it to work. And then again. And then I turn it back. So that's new for me. I haven't seen that before. Turn on the headlights, and I don't see any instrument lights lighting up back there. Out mileage is 749, by the way. Horn works. The tilt on the steering wheel operates as well. Something else I noticed here: the trim piece here is loose. Seems like the more I touch and feel things, the more things are happening here. I verified that the AC works. That was blowing cold. It took a little bit. I had to take the car back outside so I can run it. When I turned on the heater, I got a gust of air, but then it gone away. And then so as I was feeling around, I noticed that this hose had detached. So I'm gonna put it back in there, but you need to know about that because it seems to be like a little weakness, or it needs to be properly done. Yep. And then I already mentioned something about the radio, and then I did look in the glove box, and looks like they've got some external unit here, but it's not plugged in. But then again, this might be for, I don't know. Sometimes it can be for engine management or the radio. So that I don't know. It's the glove box, good. The other thing I noticed, parking brake does not work. So when I set the brake and I put it in gear, the car shouldn't move. As you can see, it just continues to roll, same as in reverse, right? And shifter here, it feels like it's binding a little bit, right? You don't feel like it really locks in, and then you can see the little release button. You have to kind of mess with it a little bit to get that properly set again. So this is like the attention to detail that I had mentioned, right? Just these little things that probably require just a little bit more working. Let's see here, and then the dome light, yeah, you mentioned that. The sun visors, they're good. I pulled those out already. Door locks work. The seats, I moved forward and backwards, so that works. And go ahead and we're about I think about 3 miles. There is some tire rubbing, but I noticed something is, even here on the parking lot, just turning the steering wheel, probably about, well, over 360 degrees, but I'll show you right now where I'm already picking up on some rubbing. And then I saw the marks on the frame as well, but just to give you a demo here. So I'm gonna put it in reverse here. So reverse, and then so we'll just watch the rotation of the wheel. Okay, so I didn't pick it up there. We'll try it again. And then we'll do the opposite direction. See it right here already. I'm already feeling the rubbing noise. And then we can hear it. See, it's even getting more pronounced now. And even more, but I don't want to do it too much. And then also, there's like a clunk in the steering as well that we picked up on. So this is just the in a parking lot. So we're gonna go on a road test here. I'm gonna switch with the ish here. See right here, I'm already feeling the rubbing. And we'll take on the road test again. Right, so there's a jackhammer going on in the background, but let's see if we can hear the noise. So this is we're just gonna just drive and then go through the gears. But I already verified that while driving, hands off the steering wheel, it does drive straight. It doesn't shoot over to the left or to the right. There's some minor veering to the right, as I don't know if you can pick up on the camera or not. But there's a slight crowning of the road, so that's a given right there. That's okay. When we apply the brakes, he's not fighting the steering wheel at all, so it is stopping straight. The shifting has been difficult because one, we don't have no indicator to tell us what it is, and then I think the linkage is off as well, where it's too tight, so it's tough to get a true feeling of where we're at. So I couldn't tell if I was into the lower gears and then drive and what have you. So that's been a little tricky. I accidentally, punched it for a little bit, and man, this thing's a beast, right? It really shook us to the core. This thing's really got some horsepower. So we'll see if it can give us a demo when it's his turn. So the thing again after this other opening. But yeah, the suspension, it's a little rigid, but this is what we can expect for the setup that it has right now. Because I don't know if you picked up on it, it got a little bouncy when we got at the higher speeds. But then the roads are really bumpy here as well. It's pretty obvious. See, there's a rubbing noise right there when he made that turn. And then there's a straightaway. And also keep in mind that there's no seat belts either. So at these higher speeds, you might feel a little nervous. All right, but I'll go ahead and shut down the video portion of this already. So we know about the rubbing noise now. We saw it all on the frame. At least we know with the steering and braking that's dead on. Performance, there's no question that this thing is pretty impressive.